Hey guys, it's Scott at startatherapypractice.com. Appreciate you listening in today. I've had a few therapists ask me how we work scheduling at our practice, at our clinic. And so we work our practice as cheaply as we can. So I like Google Calendar because it's free. So if you have a Gmail account, then you have a Google Calendar. But what I suggest is that you first create an account for your private practice only. So I'm going to go over to my calendar. After you create that calendar for your private practice, I give each of the therapists access to that, the username and password, because basically I only use it for the calendar. You could also use it for the Gmail also if you need to. As you can see, it's laid out just like a weekly calendar. You can choose day, month, 5 days, or agenda view. This is one of our therapists' calendar, their weekly schedule. Over here on the left is each of the therapists, a couple of office workers, and an eval schedule. Jennifer's schedule is up right now. If I wanted to make it disappear, I can click on it again and it goes away. I can choose another therapist. I can choose multiple therapists at the same time, although it gets a little busy. If you wanted to see this a little bit easier, you could choose agenda view, and it lists them all out if you want to see multiple therapists at the same time. Now, in order to create a new therapist on this single calendar, you go over here to the gear, which is the settings. Go down and choose settings. Go to the top and choose calendars. This is all of our therapist calendars here. Scroll down and click create new calendar. At the top, name your calendar. Always like to put the therapist name first. We're going to do Susie is our new therapist, and I always like to put their phone number right there. That way anybody can see that therapist's phone number if they need to contact them. You can leave all of this blank. Make sure your time zone's correct. It probably already is though. Go to the bottom, click create calendar. Now on the left hand side, Susie should show up, and there she is right here. If you only wanted to see Susie's calendar, you could click this little arrow right here. Go to the top, display only this calendar. And there she is. She doesn't have any appointments yet. If you want to change her color, you could also do that there. Choose any of these colors. That way if you have multiple therapists, you can make sure they have different colors. So let's create an appointment. Choose a time anywhere on the calendar. Click on it. I like the therapist to put the location first. Even if you don't have a physical brick and mortar location, this is pretty handy because you might have different nursing homes, schools, daycares, or other facilities that you treat in. So I like to have them start with the location first, because when you look at that in agenda view and you have multiple therapists, it makes it a lot easier to know where people are and where you might need to be as the clinic owner. So choose the place first, home. Then I like for them to put the therapist's name. Again, this makes more sense when you look at it in agenda view. And then I have them put the client's name. Now, if you want to make that a reoccurring event that happens every week at the same time, click Edit Event. On this screen, you can change the time, but if it's the correct time, leave it there. In order to make it repeat, click Repeat. And it's going to repeat next Tuesday at the same time. If you also wanted to do another day to repeat, you can choose that also. I'm going to choose Thursday, Tuesday and Thursday at the same time. Click Done and click Save. And as you can see, it appeared right here. If you go to the top and go to the next week, it's there also. It keeps reoccurring. Pretty handy. Now, if you wanted to change the time, you can just simply click on it, Edit Event, change the time or the day, and click Save. So that's basically it. You can put multiple therapists on there. One suggestion I have is to have a separate calendar for evaluations. So you can see that this is our calendar just for evaluations, and that's pretty handy because evaluations happen at non-routine times. In other words, they don't reoccur. So I like to get a good heads up for those evaluations, especially if they're in our brick and mortar clinic. so I can make sure that someone is there and they know that that new client is coming in. So a little tip for you there. So if you have any questions, send me an email at scott@startatherapypractice.com. Go by the website, get my free stuff over there, and listen to the podcast. I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks.